What just happened, Mark?
I just took the world's first ever sting from a mammoth wasp. Ah! I've caught and been stung by some of the rarest insects on the planet, putting my body on the line against venoms that are completely undocumented by science. But in the hills of Borneo, my journey faithfully crossed paths with perhaps the rarest creature I've seen to date. It is a miracle we had our cameras ready to record this 1 in a million catch.
What is that? Whoa, what the?
What is that? Holy mother. That is a monster bee, guys. Oh my gosh. I think that's a mammoth wasp. It is aggressive. Huge pinchers, bright yellow head, massive abdomen. This might be my worst sting test yet. I hope you guys are prepared for a big one, because what you're looking at there is the giant skulled wasp, or more famously known as the mammoth wasp. Not only because of its massive size, but also because it is completely covered in hair, just like a woolly mammoth. Oh my goodness, and it is as intimidating of an insect as I have ever seen. This is bringing back memories of the tarantula hawk sting. I thought that was going to be the scariest wasp I would ever see. Ah! Ah! The mammoth wasp? Way worse. And let me show you why. I want to zoom into that head. Enormous mandibles on a menacing yellow skull cap right on top of its head. Reminds me of a gigantic yellow jacket, or dare I say, the murder hornet. And who knows, maybe one day, the mammoth wasp will be known as the murder wasp. Now, there's not much known about this species. To say it is rare does not do it justice. The reason you've likely never heard about a mammoth wasp before is because they are almost never seen, even by scientists. I saw a blog post from a scientist who claimed to have been searching out in these environments every day for 3 years, for 2 to 3 hours a day, and has only seen the species twice. Can you imagine? Over 1,000 days of searching. So the fact that we have caught one is amazing. And then of course, the fact that we're gonna test the sting of this insect, this one is gonna go into the record books of Brave Wilderness, guys. I can already tell. Not only is this going to be a super rare sting test, we're gonna have to do this one a little differently. So I'm not willing to take any risk with this one. We wanna be indoors while I do the sting test, just in case this wasp is able to pry its way out of the forceps while I have a hold. The chance to take a sting from this wasp and see what this is like is never gonna come around again. I fully expect the sting of this wasp to be excruciating because it is a parasitic wasp. Let me show you what this wasp is out there hunting. Besides nectar, which it does eat, it's hunting for these, the atlas beetle, or more specifically, the grub of the atlas beetle. You see, when these wasps find an atlas beetle grub, they will sting it, lay eggs in it, so it's a built-in meal for the baby wasp. But because they use their sting to paralyze supersized grubs, it's going to need to have a super paralyzing sting. And at this size, the amount of venom that sting's gonna deliver, this will probably be the worst sting from a flying insect that I ever take. I'm gonna call it right now. I think this one's going to be off the charts on the BSI. Let's go inside, set up the sting table, and see what the mammoth wasp is really made of. Let's go. We've got the team inside this room here. We built a sting studio here in the heart of Borneo. And as excited as I was showing you this mammoth wasp, now is the moment where every sting test, the reality sets in that I'm gonna have to go through something usually uncomfortable. In this case, I think excruciating is the appropriate word. And there it is, right there. Here we go. We're locked in. Had we done this outside and the mammoth wasp were to escape, there is zero chance we would find another one. This is a one-shot deal. No matter what happens, the mammoth wasp is going on the bite sting index. What happens to me, that's what we're about to find out. Got forceps here, all right, because there's no documentation as to the effects of this sting or the venom of this species. EpiPen, and then, of course, a little hydration. This is a big one, guys. Had a lot of big stings over the years, but I don't think anything is quite as impressive as this mammoth wasp. If this is anything like the tarantula hawk, get ready for some fireworks. We're not going to take a sting on my right arm because it's pretty flared up right now after the carpenter bee sting. Oh, wow, yeah, wow. Oh, ah. Luckily, I got a good arm over here. Left arm, blank canvas for this sting. Now, everybody be aware, this wasp can easily escape. Be ready to react. Here we go. You guys ready? Gonna try to get it out. We're gonna see if we can do it without the net. It senses that. Nope. Gonna need the net, please. To get this grab, I'm gonna put the wasp back in the net, stretch these out, try to get a good hold. This is a powerful wasp, so it's gonna take a lot of force. Oh! Oh my gosh. I got it. Don't worry, guys. Oh my gosh. Talk about aggressive. Let's try to get it like further up in the net here. This wasp is trying to dig, not going up like I expected. All right, come on, come on. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Come on. Come on. Go up. Go up. Get in the net. Up, up, up. Good, good. Good. This is gonna be so bad. Okay. Here we go. Jesus. Oh my gosh. Oh my jeez. All right. It's trying to escape. This is why we're doing it inside. Okay. Holy moly. My heart is going about 1,000 beats a minute right now. I am struggling to compose myself. It can literally scratch its own back with its stinger. There'd be no safe way to handle this wasp. But it's now or never. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the mammoth wasp on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Ah! She's biting me. Ah! Ah! She's stung multiple times. Ah! The bite hurts too. Ugh. Gosh. Ah! Yep. Yeah! Scrape me. All right, all right, all right. Ah! Ah! Oh! Okay.
Describe the pain, Mark.
It's building. She stung me so many times. She was also biting me. See all those bite marks? All right, it's building. Letting the pain build. I got stung about maybe a dozen times, at least 8 times I could count. It just was hitting me again and again and again. And a long sting or two, blood drawn. You can see it's starting to swell. You got like this rashy area, some kind of rashy things going on here. That might be from the biting. Those mandibles, I felt the most, just gnawing into my skin. I'm definitely sweating profusely because the nerves are firing off, but in terms of pain, I definitely took a bunch of good stings. I left it on there as long as I could. I don't know, guys. I'm not out of the woods yet. The aftermath could very well be the worst part. The sting site is really bad. It's already cooked, guys. Look at that. So now we're gonna rate this sting on 3 factors. Like always, for the bite sting index: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. We're gonna give this sting 24 hours to develop. We're gonna keep the EpiPen on standby just in case I start to have an allergic reaction, but here is where the mammoth wasp from Borneo rates on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index. Roll it. On intimidation, the mammoth wasp took things to a whole new level. Everything about this wasp is massive, including its stinger and its jaws. Plus, I was extra nervous because this is the first documented sting that we know of this species, so I had no idea what to expect. The Mammoth Wasp earns every bit of its intimidation score of a 9.8 out of 10. The pain was not quite as I expected. My nerves were on edge, so that rush of pain at the beginning was startling. It immediately jabbed me multiple times and dosed me with venom, which was a bright and red-hot kind of pain, but ultimately it did not build to the likes of the tarantula hawk. It also fell short to the giant black carpenter bee, which I had faced 24 hours earlier, so it was fresh on my mind. Oh, wow, yeah! The pain from the black bee was so explosive that it sent shockwaves all throughout my system, where the mammoth wasp just didn't quite get that bad. So overall, I give it a pain score of a 6.9 out of 10. Now for the aftermath, which was indeed much worse than the initial pain of the sting. Over the next 72 hours, the sting site swelled up into a tightly grouped sting mound, showing massive amounts of inflammation and even bruising. It caused a deep, throbbing ache that lasted for days, and it was almost like having a broken bone. As far as lasting effects go, the mammoth wasp delivered a sting that was on par to some of the meanest insect stings on the planet, earning it an aftermath score of an 8.8 out of 10. Altogether, the mammoth wasp ranks at an 8.5 out of 10 on the Brave Wilderness Bite Sting Index, climbing very high into the all-time rankings, but falling just short of the terrifying tarantula hawk. Have you ever tried to stuff a brick in your pocket before you went on a hike? Well, that's what my old wallet felt like. Bulky, awkward, and always in the way. When I'm on an adventure, I need to travel light and move fast. That's why I'm really digging this stealth wallet from Groove Life. And it is awesome. And man, this thing is a tank. It's made with aerospace grade aluminum with a Teflon coating, so I don't need to baby it when I'm in the wild. And the quick access system is the smoothest card deployment I've ever used. Just flick my thumb and boom, my cards perfectly fan out. So whether I'm out in the wild or I'm hanging out for coffee in town, it keeps my essentials tight, compact, and slim in my pocket. Plus, it blocks RFID, which gives me peace of mind when I'm traveling through airports or in crowded markets. So if you're tired of those clunky wallets slowing you down, hit the link in the description and check out the Groove Stealth Wallet. Trust me, this is the last wallet you're ever gonna need. It just plain works. All right, back to the action. The blue ring octopus has one of the most toxic venoms on Earth, and if we're lucky enough to find one, I'm going to attempt to touch it with my bare hands. But first things first, let's get looking. From experience tide pooling, the best results are usually from the edge. The further out you can go, the better. An octopus can change the texture of its skin, and it would just look like any of these. Now I've struck out on all 3 previous occasions trying to locate a blue ring octopus. I'm hoping 4th time's a charm. The difference this time is I'm searching with my good friend Miller Wilson, who has seen blue rings in these tide pools before. It's very hard to pick a octopus that's a master of camouflage out from this environment. It's about to be low tide, and this is probably one of the most dangerous tide pools that I have ever searched. So wearing some nice protective shoes, gloves. I don't really want to handle the octopus, but the gloves should protect me just in case. And of course, we still need to watch our steps, because if you look at this, all these rocks out here, exactly like a stonefish. And this is stonefish territory. The stonefish is the world's most venomous fish. If you step on one, your boots will not protect you. A single sting from a stonefish can be excruciating and can even be deadly. But no octopus. Flipping's not really doing it, so I'm just gonna cruise to cover a lot of ground looking for movement. A lot of times I do see octopus moving from pocket to pocket, but they slink along the surface. So I'm just looking for any movement right now. Any movement, we're getting it though, feel it. Oh my God, I got an octopus. I got a blue ring, guys. It's right here. There it is. I missed it. It's right in here. It's right here. How could I miss that? That was it. Got it. Oh my gosh. We got one. Are you kidding me? Yes! Boom, baby! Boom. Yes! Holy cow. Miller! We're good. We got one. Can you help me get out of the net? So you'll see I'm wearing gloves, guys, for a reason right now. This is a really good way to get a nip. And that is not what I want. Put that guy in there. Hello. There we go. Hey, buddy. Let's talk about what we found. Right there in my hand is the most dangerous animal on the planet, at least when it comes to venom. Nothing in the animal kingdom is more toxic than this tiny little octopus. And yes, I am nervous about it, but before the end of this video, I will officially touch with my bare hand the most dangerous and toxic creature on Earth. There are actually 4 described varieties of blue ring octopus. This one is the blue lined octopus. It's the only one in the family that has these really cool, vivid blue pinstripes surrounding the body. It's almost like blue tiger stripes. So if this animal is at all threatened, here, I want to show you what it does. See that? Look at those rings go. Is that cool or what? Oh, okay. Stay down, stay down. If the octopus is at all agitated, not only does it flare up the rings on its arms, but those lines on its body glow. Back up, I'm toxic. That's your aposematic warning. And if you don't listen to me, I'm gonna give you a nip. And they show these vivid display warnings, not only for predators, but they also do it while they're hunting. They will do it to confuse or startle their would-be prey. This is what our octopus friend here is out hunting. This is a type of shore crab, but this would be the perfect food for the octopus. All right, we're gonna let this crab go. A single bite from this octopus could kill over 20 human beings. Needless to say, if I get nipped by this creature, that'll be the last nip I ever take. Now, these octopus are nocturnal, and they are masters of camouflage. Its normal color pattern perfectly blends in to this silty environment. They have 3 hearts that pump blue blood. They also have 9 brains. 1 central brain to run the entire nervous system, but then at the base of each arm, they have another brain. And you can see there, that little beak holds 2 venom sacs. And it's actually a toxin that it doesn't even produce itself, that it actually picks up through bacteria that it finds in the environment, through other organisms in this tide pool, and it collects this bacteria in its salival glands, and when it uses its beak to bite into its prey or a predator for escape, it will actually inject saliva into the wound. Once this saliva enters the bloodstream, you get infected with TTX. No animal has as lethal of a dose as the blue ring octopus does. If you get even a micro amount of TTX in your bloodstream, all you can do is be put on life support and hope that eventually your body works through the toxin on its own. And here's the worst part about it. While you might be in complete paralysis, you are lucid. There are survivors that have lived to tell the tale of having people try to resuscitate them, giving active CPR, and they weren't able to communicate, but they remember everything. And a lot of people get bitten by these octopus because of mistaken identity. You'll come out to a local beach in Tideful. Guys, turn your cameras right now. This is an active beach. People take their dogs and kids and play on this beach, and these animals live all along the coastline. Now, that's not to scare you. Obviously, we're out here actively looking for them. They're hard to find, but people do unfortunately come into contact with these octopus, and they will pick them up, play with them, and in that process, take a bite, which is completely painless, by the way. Initial symptoms are going to be things like tingling, difficulty breathing, difficulty thinking, loss of your motor skills, wobbly walking. If you think you are ever bitten by a blue ring octopus and you start to have symptoms, you have to be rushed to the hospital as fast as you can. We're talking like life flight situation, because you only have a matter of minutes before your whole nervous system starts to shut down and you're no longer able to breathe. Whew. And saying all that, while holding the octopus in your hand, it's hard to remember the last time I was this nervous in the presence of an animal. All right, the time has come for something that I've thought a lot about. Because I know the only way that this octopus has the ability to envenomate you is a bite with its beak, I'm going to attempt to touch with my bare hand the most lethal, toxic animal on the planet. In order to do that, I'm gonna just dump out this water. Look at that. The octopus is trying to mimic the color of the cube. Rest assured, this is just a camouflage tactic. They are masters at this. That octopus is still very much able to pounce and bite. They can spend extended periods out of water. All right, so just so you guys know, if this blue ring does snare me, we're going to the hospital. On 3. 1, 2, 3. That made me nervous. All right, lid back on. I don't think I was just bitten now, but I'm not completely sure. I had to take a break, guys, because like I'm definitely feeling a little lightheaded, like major anxiety. That animal right there, if you get bit, it's game over. It's lights out. Guys, I am like shaking right now. Like my feet are tingling. Things that you normally wouldn't pick up on, like heart rate, how I'm breathing, tingle feeling. Like I'm just from like all the adrenaline pumping through my body. And the emotions are intense, super intense. Gotta shake that off. The anxiety that I'm experiencing on camera is real, as I had almost identical symptoms to that of a blue ring bite. While I was 99% sure I wasn't bitten, we had to closely monitor my symptoms until we deemed it safe enough to continue filming. The symptoms of these bites can be subtle and can be hard to differentiate from anxiety and panic from other sources of stress. Please, never attempt to do what you are seeing in this video. I cannot stress enough, if you are bitten by a blue ring octopus, you must seek medical attention immediately. I think I'm all right. I think I'm okay to continue. Let's keep going. Okay. It's been a while since I've had this kind of reaction to being in an encounter with an animal. Like it's like my first time seeing a venomous snake. It's like all kinds of emotions right now. Just brushing up against one in the tide pool, whether you're walking around, if you accidentally touch one, you're gonna be just fine. It's like every other octopus. The difference only occurs when you take a bite from the beak right there. Have you ever tried to stuff a brick in your pocket before you went on a hike? Well, that's what my old wallet felt like. Bulky, awkward, and always in the way. When I'm on an adventure, I need to travel light and move fast. That's why I'm really digging this stealth wallet from Groove Life. And it is awesome. And man, this thing is a tank. It's made with aerospace grade aluminum with a Teflon coating. So I don't need to baby it when I'm in the wild. And the quick access system is the smoothest card deployment I've ever used. Just flick my thumb and boom, my cards perfectly fan out. So whether I'm out in the wild or I'm hanging out for coffee in town, it keeps my essentials tight, compact, and slim in my pocket. Plus, it blocks RFID, which gives me peace of mind when I'm traveling through airports or in crowded markets. So if you're tired of those clunky wallets slowing you down, hit the link in the description and check out the Groove Stealth Wallet. Trust me, this is the last wallet you're ever gonna need. It just plain works. All right, back to the action. We've been given special permission to search this mountain road here in Borneo for one of the rarest and most undocumented snakes on the planet. The Malcolm's pit viper is not only mysterious, but no one's ever filmed a fully grown adult, and no one really knows the full effects of its toxic venom. If we find this colorful viper, this will be one of the very first times it's ever been filmed in 4K. Let's go. People come out here for years and not find one of these snakes. This is a super, super rare species. Even if you don't like snakes, I will bet you that when you see this one, we'll make a snake lover out of you. What was that? Is it? Got it. That is not a Malcolm's pit viper. Got it. We have a Saba pit viper here. She's a little feistier than I originally thought. Oh, she's not happy. We woke her up. Let's back up. Let's give her some more space, guys. We've got to give her a clear area. She's warranted to be a little cranky with us. Clearly, we took the snake out of its tree, out of its perch. This is an absolutely gorgeous pit viper. Look at it giving us that nice tail whip right there. Most vipers got heat sensing pits. She's looking right at me. She knows that I am the threat. So I'm gonna just turn this way. Oh, beautiful pose. Look at that S-curve. Perfect strike position. Look at how stunning her coloration is. Bright green. Those red eyes are specific to the Saba vipers that you will find here on Kinabalu. And this is what Kinabalu is known for. It's beautiful species of tropical snakes. Some of the most colorful snakes in the world can only be found here on this mountain. Okay, and she's off. And so are we. Let's keep searching, guys. Finding an adult Malcolm's pit viper won't be easy. They're more dangerous, more rare, and much larger than the Saba pit viper. This is the first snake that we have seen out here in Kinabalu. We have been looking for snakes all night. We're pulling out all the stops. We've got some of the best experts out searching with us tonight. We need as many eyes looking into this forest as possible. These are super elusive and camouflage snakes, one that people travel from all over the world to find. Hey Lockie, have you ever seen a Malcolm's pit viper before?
Never.
With the help of Lockie Gilding, our regional reptile expert, we will hopefully track down this mythical snake and avoid its mysterious venom, which we know is super toxic. Got a tiny little gecko here. Ow, ow, he bit me. Calm down, buddy. This is a curved-toed gecko. They're called a curved-toed gecko because look at the claws there. The feet are almost like hooks. Beautiful banded tail, beautiful cryptic patterning on the back. It's almost like a leopard. See that? Cool bands along the face. Take a peep at that eye. Geckos have the coolest eyes. Fun fact about geckos, they do not have eyelids, so they actually have to lick their eyeballs to keep them moist. We were to stay here long enough with this gecko, and he was gonna stop biting me. Look, he's biting me there. Come on, dude. Ah, am I being so mean? I know I disturb you, but dang, this guy's just laying into me. Got a good, okay. Well, that's one way to make friends, huh? This how we do it? You kidding me?
He's a grumpy gecko.
Seriously, look at this. Just biting the living daylights out of my finger. Well, this is a good way to see a gecko. It's not really how I wanted this to go. You know, sometimes you take the opportunities that present themselves. I'm gonna put this gecko back where we found it. See you later, grumpy. With all these reptiles out on the prowl, I like our odds at finding one of these Malcolm pit vipers.
They are one of the hardest snakes to find in all of Asia, being only found here on this mountain range, and they like it when it's wet. You've got to time it to perfection, where you have the perfect temperature, humidity. If the moon's too bright, the snakes don't get active. You need to nail it all in order to even have a chance at finding these guys.
Oh my God. It's like a bat. Oh, it's on me. I got it. That's a cicada. All the things screeching and screaming out here in the rainforest. This is what's doing it. They vibrate this back plate. That's what makes it go. Look at those wings. Totally translucent. You want to see it fly away? Whoa. Oh! Ace, it's on you! Clearly the wildlife is out and about tonight, and the weather conditions are really looking good. I'm feeling lucky about finding the rare Malcolm's pit viper. When you're out searching the forest at night, one of the things that we're looking for is eye shine.
Well, what do we got, Mark?
This is a horned frog. Gently pick him up. Be cool, they'll be cool. So this is a Kobayashi horned frog. Now I've noticed a lot of the frogs here in Kinabalu, they don't have a flight response. You can kind of just casually go up and pick them up with your hand. Frogs I'm used to catching, you have to like grab them because they're gonna jump away. These frogs you can just casually pick up, which is kind of nice. Get a chance to appreciate horned frogs like this one. There we go. Now you can really see them standing proud and tall. See those two horns right above the eye? That's why it's called a horned frog. It's puffing up right now as a defense display to make itself bigger. I actually think makes it look pretty cool. This one is looking like the leaf litter here. See that leaf? And there's many horned frogs all around the world, but this Kobayashi horned frog is endemic to Kinabalu. This one can only be found here at this park. So this is truly a rare sight in a creature I have never seen before. So it's always cool to find a new species. Kind of got a grumpy face, I won't lie. Not a very happy looking frog. Let's keep searching. Oh, whoa. Guys, look at that. This gecko munching on a cicada. Looks like a cicada that just molted because its wings aren't really there. So yeah, this cicada probably was just like coming up out of its shell, probably perched there drying out its wings. This gecko pounced it. That's a big meal for a gecko that size, but that's the same gecko species that just munched on my finger. You know, even though it wasn't able to break skin, they can chomp. We're not gonna disturb it. We're gonna let that gecko have its midnight snack. Lizards will hunt. And they aren't the only ones. It's mealtime out here. This is the moment where we really might stand to find the creature we're after. You never go into snake territory without a snake hook. And it really helps when you have experts on your team to help you find stuff. After searching for hours on end, nearly 2 whole nights of non-stop scouring, everything was about to change.
What do we got, Mark?
Snake. Snake right there, guys. It's a Malcolm's. That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Good spot, man. Time to reach now.
That's it, guys. Oh my goodness. We got one. This is a really good snake. Let me get the snake hook all the way out. Oh man. Now I gotta be careful because it may just slink down. Here, buddy. See if I can get it to start crawling this way. All right, watch out, guys. Put it down. Perfect. Hi, buddy. Oh my goodness. That is it, guys. I cannot believe we got one. There it is. This is the snake that we were after. It is a pit viper, guys. It's a heat sensing snake, so it's gonna be looking at me a lot, but I'm gonna try to get it to face the cameras because it came all this way. I want you guys to see the snake. We do not want to get bit by this snake. There can be no complacency with an unknown outcome like this. We have no idea what would happen if anyone were to be bit by this snake. We have not been able to find any record of a bite, so the effects of the venom are completely unknown to us. All we do know is that it would be a very serious bite and we'd be going straight to the hospital. And even with that, it could be a very dicey situation in terms of what would inevitably happen to you. Well, see that? You'd be really at the mercy of the medical professionals here in Borneo to potentially save your life. Could be a deadly snake bite with this one. We're not gonna push our luck with this. Oh, see? What a gorgeous, gorgeous tropical pit viper. And this isn't a boreal species, that's why it was. Oh, hang on. Don't worry. He's just being a little active. Here we go. All right, that's good. This is a snake we hiked all the way up here for. This is why we traveled over 40 hours by airplane to this country. When it comes to snakes and the history of Brave Wilderness and filming our videos, this is the rarest snake that I have ever found by a landslide. And we're gonna try to capture some of the highest quality footage ever filmed of this species. What you're looking at right there, guys, is definitely a first. The scale pattern of this species. I mean, the face has these really pronounced scales. They almost look holographic. The coloration just jumps right off the skin. And it goes from a dark green to a lime green, and then the black between the scales. I think the head of the snake is almost unparalleled in how cool it looks. And look at those black eyes. Super intimidating tiger stripes. It looks like someone illustrated this snake, guys. I can't believe what I'm looking at. Andrew, have you ever seen a snake like this in your life?
I haven't. It is stunning. It has a captivating quality.
It really does, and it's almost, I mean, it's mesmerizing. Oh, striking at me. Striking at me. Don't worry, buddy. And then of course you've got the red tip on the tail that it uses as a warning flag. If this snake becomes threatened, it's going to wiggle this red tail, warning, I'm toxic. You're gonna take a bite if you get any closer. See, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. The fangs are coming out. What we're looking at here is likely an adult male. The females of this pit viper can grow 5 to 6 feet in length. I would say that this male, approaching 2.5 feet. If there's a cooler snake out there to find, I wanna know. I'm curious, everyone watching, tell me in the comments, because I wanna go find that snake too. But in terms of all of my wildlife adventures, I have never seen any snake this beautiful. Certainly not this rare. We were going for hours at a time without seeing a thing, let alone a snake. I cannot believe this snake actually exists, and I certainly am in shock that it's right here in front of us, that we actually found it. It is the coolest snake too. It's stunning. The coloration, unbeatable. The crown jewel of reptiles here at Mount Kinabalu in Borneo. Bam, we got it. The thorny devil is like a living sculpture, and some rumors say it is so sharp it can actually draw blood when you try to catch it. So if we're lucky enough, we're gonna put those rumors to the test. Let's get searching. They live exclusively on a diet of ants. Because of that need, if you find an ant mound or an ant line, there's a good chance there's a thorny devil somewhere in the vicinity, so we can then create a perimeter and start really scanning the area. These are masters of camouflage in this environment, so you really need to narrow it down to a sweet spot. so sharp. Ah. This is definitely thorny devil habitat. Everything out here is spiky. Especially this plant right here. This is like little razor blade leaves. Gonna keep an eye out for that one as we search for this creature. Here we go. This is a good indication. You see that line in the sand right there? That's an ant track. You can actually see a few tiny, tiny ants making their way back to their nest. But this is great, guys. We've got the sandy environment. We found the food. Now it's time to find the devil itself. What I'm looking for now are either foot tracks or the outline. It has a very distinct contrast with the rest of the environment, the outline of the tail and the horns on the front. And that's what I'm gonna be scanning for along the ridges and along the bush lines. Luckily, the thorny devil is not very fast. You can see why you have to be such a specialized animal to call this your home. Humans would not do very well living out here. Oh, I see one. Got one. We got a devil. Oh, yes, yes, we got one. Oh man, this is the coolest lizard on the planet, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so excited right now. I cannot believe we found a thorny devil. Look at how cool this little dragon is. This is one of the top targets out here. And unlike their cousins in America and Mexico, the horned lizards, these guys are actually super spiky. And you see it puffing up its body and pushing those spines out. That is one of its defense mechanisms. And I could tell you that if you were to grab onto this thorny devil without knowing that it was sharp, you would get a handful of spikes. Look at how cryptic the color patterning is. This animal is superior at camouflage in this environment, from the sand that's demonstrated in its arms to the foliage and the yellow leaf litter. This animal is perfectly designed for this habitat. And you can see that I'm not really doing much to keep the animal here with us. They're very docile and slow moving. In fact, they use their tail as a balance to step forward. They're almost like a chameleon, and they'll do very cautious steps. So look at that, just in a matter of minutes from presenting this animal, it's already changed its color to a much more vibrant yellow on the back. And that's probably because the sun is really starting to come out today. And like most lizards, it is ectothermic. The more heat it absorbs in its body, the more energy it's going to have. And it certainly has earned its name, the thorny devil. It is extraordinarily sharp and spiny. And it is covered from the tip of its tail all the way to its fingers and sharp spikes. Andrew, stick your finger out there. Tell me what that's like.
Wow, it's like prickers.
It's literally as sharp as the thorns on a rose. Just because it has these defense mechanisms doesn't mean that this lizard doesn't have any predators. There are animals out here that would make a meal out of a thorny devil, including species of hawks and, of course, the predatory goannas, the giant monitors that live in this country. So that's where this animal will rely on its superior camouflage to blend into its environment, to not give its location away. It also has another unique defense mechanism. You see those two horns right at the neck? That is a false head. And in a defense situation, the thorny devil will tuck in its head, offer up that false head to any would-be predator so it has a chance to escape if attacked. So let's see if we can actually get it to do that. Offering that false head up. That is a great display. All right, let's pick it back up. Gosh, those spikes are sharp. Ah, oh, do you see him right there try to horn me? Ah, okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I thought we had an agreement. We were gonna do this scene and I was gonna put you back, trying to show everybody how cool you are. There we go. If you ever wanna see one in person, you have to come here to one of its native ranges. Right now we are in Western Australia, but the range extends all the way to the center of the continent. But it lives in this specialized desert terrain, feeding on ants of a particular variety. Now, when I say feeding on ants, I should say feasting on ants. This little lizard has the ability to eat up to 3,000 ants a day. It will eat up to 1,000 ants in a single meal. And because of that, it actually is said that they are super intelligent. They have the ability to track through their environment to locate different colonies of ants, and they make sure that they don't overpredate any specific colony. They want to be able to come back to the food line to get another meal when they need it. These animals all have a very unique color pattern. You see underneath there? The patterning on the belly is like an individualized fingerprint for these lizards. So scientists will actually take photographs of the underside of a thorny devil so they can study the populations in any given area. And this one is super cool. It's very reticulated, almost like tiger stripes. Ah, so sharp. Ah, hang on. Ah, in addition to being super spiky, it has another very unique mechanism that is developed for life out here in the desert, and that's the ability to drink using its feet. Now, I've heard that if you actually pour water out and place a thorny devil in a small puddle, you can witness this happening. So we are going to try to demonstrate that for you right now. I've got a little water here. All right, let's see. Look at that. See all that moisture? Definitely have water coming up the back. I can see it on the neck. It's probably hydrating its eyes. And if we stay here long enough, it would actually be able to siphon some of that water into its mouth. But that is so cool. So those scales are adapted to be able to suck up moisture from the ground to keep this lizard hydrated. It's hard to believe, even holding it here in my hand, seeing it move, seeing it look at me, I'm almost in disbelief that this is even a real living thing. And for those of you who've been watching to see if the thorny devil is indeed sharp enough to draw blood, well, here you go. I mean, it is spiky. It's like holding the thorns of a rose. So I'm gonna do this delicately. Ready? Ah, you're spining me. It's wriggling around and it's so spiky, but I think the verdict is in. I do not think the thorny devil is sharp enough to draw blood, even though, he's spiky. Definitely does not feel good when it tenses up those spines. Ow. From its defense mechanisms and the spines and the false head to even the way that it drinks. How cool was it to come across the real dragon of the outback, the thorny devil.
Welcome back to Tiger Beach, the site of our first ever shark dive on Blue Wilderness. If you want to see sharks, like a ton of sharks, you come here. Tiger Beach is a small, pristine white sand flat, about an hour's boat ride from West End, Grand Bahama. And it's one of the few places on Earth where you can see up to 5 species of shark all at the same time. Divers who make the pilgrimage here are rewarded with the chance to swim with scores of reef and nurse sharks, dozens upon dozens of lemon sharks, and if they're lucky, massive hammerhead and tiger sharks. The last time we entered this warm, crystal clear water, we found ourselves in the middle of a shark frenzy. We swam alongside an incredible hammerhead, and Coyote and I got up close and personal with a massive tiger shark. Well, maybe a little too close in the case of Coyote. So how do we top that? Well, on this episode of Blue Wilderness, we're going back in the water, but this time, we're waiting until the sun goes down.
All right, guys, well, the sun is setting at Tiger Beach, and we just started shark diving yesterday. never been night diving before, but somebody thought it was a good idea we go diving with sharks at night. Was that you?
Definitely was not me.
No, it was this guy.
It's gonna be fine, you guys!
I mean, I don't know. Is this a good idea for guys who haven't gone, night diving at all?
What's the worst that can happen?
I mean, we're surrounded by sharks.
Right, but, they're probably sleeping.
And we can't see!
Wait, don't sharks feed at night? Aren't they nocturnal predators?
It's gonna be fine.
We're gonna give it a shot, guys, so let's get geared up, get in the water with the sharks at night.
This dive into the darkness will test my resolve more than almost anything I've ever done before. But that's what drives me forward. At the core of every grand adventure lies a thin line between thrill and fear. And the moments where your nerves start to scream, turn around, go back, is exactly when the teammates next to you matter the most.
I'll tell you what. If I was nervous about diving with sharks during the day, I'm very nervous about diving with sharks at night.
Well, in case it's the last time, I'm Mark Vins. Mario's already down there. It's time to go dive with sharks at night.
As soon as we dipped below the surface, the world opened up. The last bit of twilight after sunset, combined with the white sands of Tiger Beach, allowed for a lot more visibility than we could have ever expected. But as we neared the bottom, the fleeting light that remained began to disappear. And so did our peripheral vision. Hey Mario, watch out! There's a big tiger shark right behind you. Within minutes, the entire landscape turned pitch black, and our only field of view was directly in front of us. Other divers in the distance appeared as alien craft, with orb-like lights designating their location. With ominous shadows stirring the now murky water, we were surrounded on all sides by two things that have terrified humans since the beginning: sharks and darkness. But our focus was sharp, and as soon as we got our bearings, our fear was gone. Mostly. And then we noticed something we didn't expect to see at night. Color. You see, water is excellent at absorbing color from natural light. The deeper you go, the more color disappears. Red is the first to be absorbed, then orange, and then yellow, the same order as the colors of the rainbow. At our depth, during the day, the reef can look, well, pretty bland and washed out. But under the cover of night, our powerful dive lights illuminated a completely new world that had been right in front of us the entire time. Even the fish were more vibrant. And then, while we were all completely mesmerized by the colors of the reef, from out of the darkness, ghostly figures flew gracefully into view. These rays are filter-feeding fish. Their flight pulls plankton and other nutrients into their systems and spreads water across their gills, allowing them to breathe. Like spaceships flying across our night sky, just as fast as they appeared, they were gone. The rays may have vanished, but if there's one constant at Tiger Beach, it's, well, sharks. And more specifically, tiger sharks. We knew they were out there, but at night, we couldn't see them until they were right in front of us. They drifted in and out of our light like phantoms. The effect was chilling and surreal, and so unnerving, in fact, that I started to actually become numb to it. Here I am, sitting at the bottom of a pitch-black ocean, surrounded by deadly nocturnal hunters, and I'm totally at their mercy. And then, suddenly, we came upon something that would change my perspective of sharks forever. It was a lemon shark, and it appeared to be, well, sleeping. Okay, so sharks don't actually sleep, at least not like we sleep. But some sharks, like nurse sharks or this lemon shark, go into restful periods that appear like sleep. But trust me, this shark was still wide awake and ready to defend itself against anything, including a curious first-time night diver. But did that stop me? Nope. This would be the perfect opportunity to get some great close-ups of that shark. And of course, its razor-sharp teeth. Lemon sharks can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh over 400 pounds. But despite their imposing size, they tend to be gentle giants and are not responsible for any known human fatalities. Although, like any shark, they will bite if provoked. They can be found in shallow waters and hunt with their incredible electroreceptors. And just in case you're wondering, they do have a slightly yellow tinge to their skin, you know, like a lemon. Gentle or not, I knew this sleeping giant was still an apex predator capable of inflicting life-threatening injuries. And the last thing I wanted to do was provoke it, especially at night this far from shore. But we filmed with grizzly bears and badgers. This was my chance. I had to get the shot. And to my surprise, I was able to lie right next to the nearly 10-foot shark. This was amazing, a life-changing experience to say the least. And now I would never approach a tiger shark or other top land predator like this, but laying there beside this incredible creature, I could sense its gentle nature. And it became clear that it had accepted my presence and was allowing us to film with it. And then I reached out, testing its trust. I couldn't believe it. It actually let me make contact. I was literally petting a shark. This chance encounter cultivated within me a growing sense of connection, not only to this creature, but to its entire aquatic realm. Swimming during the day in a frenzy of tiger sharks, and now petting a lemon shark on my first night dive, reminded me of how misunderstood these animals are. Our fear of them, like our fear of the dark, is really just a fear of the unknown. Every single time we go out for a blue wilderness adventure, we've managed to see something unexpected. And this incredible dive, our first night dive, was no exception. Swimming among them, and literally lying beside them in the darkness of Tiger Beach at night, brought home to me more than ever how meaningful our adventures could be to better understanding the mysteries of the ocean. Ascending back to the surface, I couldn't wait to celebrate with the team what had just happened. I knew that this night would be a story that Mario and I would share for many years to come.
All right, we're back, and we officially survived night dive number 1. Now, I will say, guys, it was a little intimidating when we first got in the water, but once we got down there, it was absolutely incredible. We saw all kinds of cool creatures, from stingrays to sea cucumbers, and we even got to pet a lemon shark. Man, I definitely can't wait until our next night diving adventure. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive.
The oceans have depended on sharks for over 400 million years. They are true survivors. And yet, many species of shark are facing overfishing and habitat destruction, leaving their populations vulnerable and on the verge of collapse. These ancient animals are certainly not the nightmarish killing machines depicted in movies. They are a critical part of our ocean's ecosystem, and we must all do our part to ensure their home, the ocean, is protected.
Whoa, that is a giant toad. 3 giant toads to be precise. And I'm not just saying a giant toad because it's obviously huge, It's actually the name of this toad. This is the largest species of toad in all of South America. And actually, by mass, it is the largest species of toad in the world. And these are super size specimens. And I was told, because they're super voracious and will eat just about anything that can fit in their mouths, if I were to take some of these superworms out today, fling them down, we'd actually get to see them eat. So we're out here filming some other things here in Ecuador, and I couldn't resist getting up close with some of these giant toads. Okay, let's see if they'll eat. Ready? Here we go. You hungry, buddy? Bam! Did you see that tongue? All right, let's see if we can get to go again. Ready? Boom! All over it. Oh, there's no way I can resist holding a toad like this. It is just too cool. Let's see if I can gently pick it up. Come here, buddy. It's okay. Oh, this is a beefcake of a toad, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking easily a 5-pounder. This is a 5-pound toad. I cannot believe this. Wow. Hi. Now, you'll see, like most toads, it has giant parotid glands, and on a toad this size, you can't miss them. These are where they keep all their poison, up here in these parotid glands. Look at the size of those legs. Look at this, see if I can turn them around. Here, buddy. Wow, look at the size of those feet. You are a giant, sir. Huge eyes on a toad this size. Let's see if we can get a look at the belly. It's chubby. Let's see. Look at that. Yep, a little bit lighter coloration on the belly. All right, I'm gonna let you down. Well, certainly wasn't gonna pass up that opportunity to hold the giant toad. All right, just spotted a new wasp. New wasp unlocked. Let's go see if we can catch it. Got it. Okay. Yes, got it. Okay, let's go. Oh yeah, okay, we got it. Awesome. All right, let's see if I can. Looks like some kind of mud dabber. There it is. Ah, look at that, guys. We got it. That was awesome. This is what is known as a mud dabber wasp. They're called that because they make a mud nest. And they're usually solitary when you see them out. You don't usually see a swarm of a mud dabber wasp. They're also called a thread-bodied wasp. You see that thread-like bridge between their abdomen and the main body? That is a distinct characteristic of these wasps. And they can use all kinds of things to build their nest. They can use sand, mud, anything that they can use to build into that tunnel. In fact, you know what? Why don't I show you what a nest looks like? Hold the phone. I know where one is. I'm gonna bring it to the set. 1 second. Here we go. So, no, this is not what the wasp makes. This is a plastic container that's just outside of the reserve that we're staying at. But if you get your camera in tight, see that little tunnel of mud? That is the nest of a mud dabber. See if anybody's home. Oh yeah, somebody's definitely home. Whoa. All right, that one took off. I hope you saw that. Good thing we already caught one because that wasp took off. Let's go back to the wasp that we caught. I'm glad that we found this one because we have been getting a lot of questions. These wasps are found all over the world, and there are hundreds, no, check that, thousands of different species of these thread-bodied wasps. And people want to know, can they sting? They're not aggressive. People rarely get stung by mud dabbers, but I am curious, can the mud dabber sting, and how bad does it hurt? I think it's time to put this wasp on the bite sting index. Let's set up the table. All right, just like that, we have another insect to add to the bite sting index. I've already been stung 3 times on this trip. So far, I have the trapjaw ant, the bullet ant, the warrior wasp, and now I'm about to add the mud dabber. And the reason why I'm going back and I'm doing all these stings here in Costa Rica, where I have experienced stings before, is because we have this brand new bite sting index. Why reinvent the sting index? Well, a couple reasons. First reason is bites. The original Sting Index did not include bites, the bites of arachnids, the bites of insects, and other creepy crawlies that we like to experiment to describe the pain and a lot of the educational facts about these creatures. The other thing is pain in itself is not the only factor when it comes to stings. There are other really important considerations like intimidation, which is one of our factors. Intimidation of an animal absolutely changes how you feel about the pain of the sting itself. And then of course we have the pain, and then at the end we have the aftermath. What happens to you after you're stung or bitten by some of these insects is oftentimes the worst part of it. So we wanted to make sure that we encapsulated the full experience of these bite and stings, and then we take all of those scores, average them out to a ranking on the BSI for every creature that we test. And I think it's time to get a closer look at this wasp. Let's get it out of the container. You guys ready? Let's keep the net close by, just in case we get an escape artist here. All right. Go for a grab. Not a grab, not a great grab. Gonna have to redo this grab. Oh, I see the stinger already. Oh boy. This might not be good. This might be, all right, hang on, I gotta see if I can use this cord piece. Help me out here. I know they can, because it has that threaded abdomen, that threaded waist, it can really swing itself around. Make sure I have a good grip. Okay, good grip. Good grip. I think we can put the net away. Put that to the side. Actually off the table. Okay, getting my first really close look at this insect, this wasp. It is blackish brown in color. Its wings are more of a caramel hue. Has a little bit of yellow on the neck. Overall, very stealthy. I would give this a smallish size rating. Like it's definitely sub-medium size for wasp. Not the smallest wasp, but like not quite a medium wasp. Intimidation factor is going to be tough on the score for this one. I'm not going to lie. Like the intimidation factor of this wasp, just knowing what I know about mud dabbers and the fact that they're usually docile. These are not wasps that are going to antagonize you. They're not going to disturb you at lunch. They're just going to fly through and be on their way either back to their nest or out to hunt. A lot of these wasps do prey on spiders, so they can be a type of spider wasp, but they also eat nectar and other forms of sugar. Let's see if it's very, oh yeah, it wants to bite. It definitely wants to bite and sting. Getting it in the forceps, I definitely already saw it does have a stinger. I can confirm this is a stinging wasp. See that stinger fishing around?
Oh, he looks angry.
And it's not a he, it's a she. Only female wasps can sting. And that's a good point, actually, Andrew, is that these stingers are modified egg-laying appendages, but they are connected to a venom sac that I can confirm that this one definitely has, because male wasps do not have stingers. All right, let's do this thing, guys. Here we go. I'm gonna go right here. Are you guys ready? Okay. Here we go. All right. It's time to enter the sting zone with the mud dabber. I'm getting a little nervous now, I'm not gonna lie. Not many people get stung by these, and I've never been stung by one before, so here we go, here goes nothing. On three. 1, 2, 3. There's stingers out. Yeah, it's in. Yeah, got a sting. Oh, it's still in. It's still in. You see it? You see that stinger? It's like stuck. It's stuck in. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I'm definitely feeling something. Oh yeah. It's heating up. It's heating up. Let me put the wasp back. Okay. Here we go. Good, great. All right. Got some swelling going.
Describe the pain mark.
Hot, local, and not that bad. I'll be honest with you guys. This could get worse. Mild to intermediate sting. Not gonna get a great score there, but let's see what this does over the next 24 hours. You don't have to wait. We're gonna skip ahead and show you a quick montage of the aftermath, and then give you an official BSI rating for the Costa Rican mud dabber. For intimidation, the mud dabber looks like a menacing wasp, but it is slender and somewhat smaller than most wasps you typically see. But because it is a wasp, you have to assume that it's not going to be any fun to take a sting from. So for that, I give it a 3.5 out of 10. On pain factor, honestly, it's not that bad. And it's actually hard to think of a less painful sting I've ever taken. As soon as the pain started to build, it abruptly ended, almost in an instant, which is very uncommon for any species of flying wasp. So on the pain scale, I'm only gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Last but not least, the aftermath, which was a much more typical wasp sting reaction. The swelling and itching was mild, but it lasted for around 3 days. And honestly, once again, not nearly as bad as any other wasp I've ever been stung by. So for that, it only gets a 2.5 out of 10, giving the Costa Rican mud dabber an average BSI score of only a 2.7, which is the lowest I have given to any species since starting the BSI. Needless to say, this is one insect that you really don't need to worry about. All right, guys, we just got the call. We are on a sea turtle rescue mission, and right now there's a turtle on a beach about 15 miles north from here and needs our help. These sea turtles, when they end up beach, it's because they're distressed and they can no longer swim. And without programs like the one we're participating in, they would all certainly die. So needless to say, this sea turtle right now, its life depends on us.
Just this past year alone, more than 850 sea turtles were rescued off the shores of Massachusetts, a number that has been sadly increasing. Endangered sea turtles like the Kemp's Ridley, green, and loggerhead are washing up on beaches due to cold stunning, and the changing climate is only making matters worse.
I think I see it. Yep, here's our turtle. A volunteer was combing this beach and they discovered this Kemp's Ridley sea turtle. And this is exactly what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to take the turtles off of the beach, away from the wind, and then you can see it was covered here with this bit of straw to protect it from exposure. And it does look like we are in time for this sea turtle to have a chance, because you can see it still has a little bit of strength in its neck, just enough to pick up its head. And that is a very good sign, because most of the turtles that you find that are cold stunned cannot move whatsoever. So let's bundle this little turtle up and take it to the Wellfleet Sanctuary, where it will start its process of rehabilitation and hopeful re-release back into the wild.
Rapidly fluctuating sea temperatures due to climate change are narrowing the window for these turtles to safely migrate south each year. Rising sea temperatures are holding the turtles in northern waters for too long, and any sudden drop in water temperature below 50 degrees results in a mass cold stunning event for these marine reptiles.
We have to be super quiet because these turtles are already really stressed, and loud noises have been proven to stress them even further. Oh, poor little turtle. We did notice that it had a bit of a response when we picked it up off the beach, like it had some ability to raise its head.
So that's pretty rare, honestly. A lot of the time these turtles are barely moving at all. Sometimes we'll think a turtle's dead and we'll leave it overnight to assess in the morning to make sure that it's still alive.
Cool. Is this our turtle?
This is our turtle.
All right. How do we know that this turtle isn't dead?
So when we first bring it onto this processing table, we will check to see if its flippers are in rigor.
Rigor is short for rigor mortis. When an animal dies, it starts to seize up and all of its joints and body parts become stiff.
So there was slight movement right there.
Saw that.
Yep. We'll kind of gently tug on their back flippers, and then we'll touch their eye for a small eye response as well. And then what we'll do is we will actually use this pit tag scanner here, because sometimes these turtles wash in and they have been tagged and no tag was detected here. Then the next thing we'll do is we will take measurements of its carapace. We will look to see if there are any injuries on the turtle anywhere, sometimes from pecking from seagulls if they've been sitting on the beach for a while. And then they'll sometimes have some wounds on their carapace.
And that's why it's so important to get these turtles off the beach as quickly as possible.
Each animal receives a number upon entry to the Wellfleet Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. And of the 4 sea turtles we assisted in rescuing, number 569 was the first to be sent for urgent care.
On your way, bud.
So we quickly mobilized and followed it to the New England Aquarium's Sea Turtle Hospital.
Look at all these turtles. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Let's go, guys. All right, here we are at the Sea Turtle Hospital. Let's go inside to see our Kemp's Ridley start its rehabilitation process. Come on this way. All right, how's it going, Adam? Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.
So are these our turtles? These are
our turtles, and you got 569. And the Kemps are very similar looking. And as you'll see, there's lots of turtles everywhere. And once they get into the water, they look even more similar. So we'll bring them up, we'll put a number on their shell, and we put a band around their flipper. So that way when we're looking for certain turtles, especially when they're in the water, they'll be easier to find.
Awesome.
Now we're gonna try to listen to see what the heart rate sounds like.
Oh, cool. And their metabolism at this rate is very slow.
Extremely slow.
And that's why you need these special instruments to be able to read that. We're listening for the turtle's heartbeat. So far, I just hear static. Oh, I think I just heard a whoosh. So this turtle's significantly lower heart rate than it's going to be when it leaves.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah. So with that, we will give it a dose of epinephrine. That will help get that heart rate a little bit up there, get them a little bit more prepped for a swim.
So this is like the jump start for the rehabilitation process here at the hospital.
Once a sea turtle receives epinephrine, it is then placed in a small pool of water for observation. Also called a swim test, this is where the clinical team will look for signs of other damage and possible infections.
Let's see how 569 does.
So that's a great sign, obviously, that nice little breath there. And turtle's going into the water. And so, yeah, I mean, he's ready to go.
That.
For these turtles, freshwater is important because of the dehydration piece. Helps rehydrate them. 1 or 2 days in that freshwater won't be detrimental, and then they're into the full saltwater tanks. These turtles have been out there breathing in cold air, water, so we see a lot of pneumonia. So you can kind of see he's slowing down a little bit there.
Okay.
We also see how high in the water he is, so he's definitely got some gas in his system there that's keeping him very floaty. As you can see, and he has some odd coloration in those front flippers, so he may have some skin issues that over the next few days as he warms up might become a little bit more prevalent.
So I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Adam, but in your professional experience, how would you say our turtle here, number 569, is looking in terms of its potential for rehabilitation?
Yeah, no, the prognosis for this turtle at this point would be good. I saw some bubbles coming out of the ears, the nose. Then you saw him lift his head and took a nice breath. So that's all great things.
Love it. That is so great to hear. And it's so nice to see the turtle lively again. I feel like most people who would encounter one of these cold stun turtles on the beach might even think they were already dead. But sure enough, here at the hospital, after a little shot of epinephrine and a chance to swim, we've got a lot of movement. All right, so now that our turtle has swam for the first time at the hospital, part of the rehabilitation process of warming them back up to the appropriate temperature, which is about 72 degrees, takes a few days. After treating nearly 5,000 turtles, this facility has learned quite a bit about how to bring the temperature back up in the appropriate way, and the best way they found to do it is a staged process over days using multiple tanks. Over the next 2 days, they will actually be placed in the saltwater baths that will raise them up to about 65 degrees and then eventually up to the 72 degrees that you'll see here in the holding tanks. These turtles here, they're already being raised up to temperature. Pretty cool, and definitely something that really helps these turtles stand a chance of being re-released.
Along with being critically endangered, the Kemp's ridley is also the rarest sea turtle on the planet. Once abundant, their population suffered a massive crash in the 1980s, where as few as 250 nesting females were estimated to remain. Luckily for the world's smallest and rarest sea turtle, large-scale conservation efforts helped restore their population to stability by the mid-2000s. However, with current climate trends being as they are, the pressure is now back on to save this species from extinction.
I've heard reports that the Kemp's ridley are somewhere in the population of 30 to 40,000 individuals in the world. Is that what you've heard also?
They are a critically endangered population.
So, I mean, the fact that you're seeing thousands of turtles come through the facility, this is a significant mass of this species.
Getting these guys through and back into the ocean is critical.
Well, this is not the end of the road for the video, guys. We actually have one more step that we want to show you as part of this turtle rehabilitation program. This one, though, is going to take us on a short trip to the airport. So as you can see, we are no longer in the Sea Turtle Hospital. We are in an air hangar because there's an amazing volunteer program called Turtles Fly 2 that takes these sea turtles down to warmer waters in the southern United States, where they will finish their rehabilitation and be released back into the wild much sooner than Mother Nature would allow here in New England. And we just got word that the turtles will arrive, so it's time to get to work and load up these sea turtles. All right, so you have a van load and a truckload full of sea turtles that are being loaded up by volunteers and aquarium staff onto this aircraft right now. They're trying to set a record today by loading 100 sea turtles onto this airplane.
That's a lot of reptiles. So right now the pilot and the co-pilot are up there playing a little bit of turtle Tetris to try to get all of these animals loaded up onto this aircraft. It takes a lot of resources to fly these turtles, so they want to make sure every flight is efficient and as productive as they can. Trying to get one more up there.
Yeah, I think they have a little shorter banana box.
Okay. Nice. Oh, there's more turtles. There's always more turtles. Last one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, got the final turtle box to load into the aircraft. Last one. Something I never thought I would say. Turtles on an airplane. But here in New England, it happens about a dozen times a year. That's cool.
The turtles that make the flight to Florida are the ones ready to be released back into the wild. But others needing more long-term rehabilitation, like our friend 569, will continue to receive care at the Sea Turtle Hospital until they are ready to be released when spring returns to New England. Researchers have predicted that by 2031, just 8 years from this video's release, thousands of cold-stunned sea turtles will wash up on New England shores every single year. It takes an amazing collaboration to combat these events and return healthy sea turtles into the ocean to rejoin their populations. From emergency veterinarians to airplane pilots to hundreds of beachcombing volunteers, I was so proud to play a small part in saving these rare and endangered animals. But the work continues every single day from the cold shores of Cape Cod to the warm waters of South Florida. And these wildlife heroes need our support. Please join Brave Wilderness in the New England Aquarium by clicking the link in the description to donate, spread awareness, or perhaps volunteer yourself in the effort to save these beloved treasures of our oceans.
Welcome to the Sonoran Desert, one of the harshest environments in the continental United States. This terrain has become a staple for Brave Wilderness. From the Gila monsters to the tarantula hawks, even the plants are out for blood. In fact, that's exactly why we're here. Ah, yes, here we go. The jumping cholla in all its glory. Now, there are over 30 different species of this segmented cacti that inhabit North and South America, and they all have different names. This one, I can tell right away, is none other than the teddy bear cholla. But I will warn you, this plant is definitely not soft and cuddly, so you don't want to give it a hug if you're out here in the Sonoran Desert. Now, if you take a closer look at those spines, you'll notice that they are pointing in nearly every direction, almost like some kind of geometric nightmare. Oh, but it gets worse. On every single spine is a characteristic called glochidia, which are small bristles with backward-facing barbs. This microscopic feature makes the cholla difficult to remove once it is adhered to any surface or unlucky passerby. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are these plants just plain evil, or is there a method to their madness? Well, as it turns out, each and every single segment of this plant is a potential seed for the next offspring. They've adopted what's called vegetative reproduction. But what's with this name jumping cholla? Their name is a bit of a myth. It comes from the idea that the plants actually have the ability to jump at their would-be victims. However, that's not the case. But what they can do is fall. So a good gust of wind or vibrations in the ground can cause the segments to fall, especially in the dry season. And at this point, I want to show you guys the methods to remove a cholla plant from your body. But let's be honest, you've seen this before. Yeah, today, it's my turn. And in order to show you the right ways to remove a cholla, I'm gonna need to get myself good and spiked up. So the team and I have decided to create the ultimate cholla challenge, also called the sharpest maze in the world. And if you look right behind me here, you'll notice there's a lot of cholla. In fact, not just cholla, there's all kinds of spiky, nightmarish plants. These are things you would never, ever want to walk through. But here's the deal. If you were to go all the way to the end of the maze, over 100 yards, you would find a table. What's on this table, you might ask? Well, It just so happens to be my favorite dessert of all time. The delicious, the scrumptious, the completely irresistible red velvet cake. And this one just so happens to be made from my favorite bakery in Los Angeles, Baker's Lane. So trust me, I really want to have that dessert in the desert. But here's the deal, in order to get it, I need to make my way through this maze in under 2 minutes. And the kicker is, I've got to do it while being blindfolded.
Actually, Mark, I thought the blindfold might be a little too easy to see through.
Huh?
So I got you these blacked out goggles instead. I'll take that bandana from you now.
I could work with this, okay. I really want that cake. All right, folks, here it goes. If you've ever wanted to see a human pincushion, stick around for the next few minutes. This is about to get crazy.
Alrighty, folks. Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned desert showdown. No sense poking around. Let's get right to it. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's give him some spins for good luck. And he's off.
That, man.
Straight.
To your right, to your right. Good, good. To your left, Mark, to your left.
Oh, God. Straight.
Yep, straight ahead. Oh, watch out for that one by your leg. Back up just a little bit and then go straight. There you go.
Oh, I can't see a thing.
There we go. We got a little bit of a clearing
Time
here.
check, time check.
You got about 1:30. Watch your spins.
Which way?
Oh, man. Back up, back up, back up. Oh. Okay, Mark, we gotta keep going. To your right, to your right.
Right?
To your right.
What is that? That's not another one, is it?
No. Straight ahead. Yep, side step. Step with your left leg forward. Yeah, just go straight, Mark. Just go straight.
Oh my gosh, how far am I?
Halfway through, Mark. Come on. Don't get too close to those. Keep shuffling.
God.
There you go.
My leg's seizing up, man.
Well, we're in between two very sharp plants. So what we need to do, yep. You just turned yourself perfect.
Okay.
Go forward. There's a bush right below you, though. Step over that with your left leg. There you go.
Am I doing the right thing? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to feel for bushes with my feet.
Shuffle. There you go.
Am I close?
You're close. We got about 30 seconds, though. We got to make it.
I'm like terrified to finish this, Corey. Help me.
All right, this part's tight.
Dude, I'm stuck. I'm freaking stuck.
Ooh, he's gonna feel that one for a while. Let's slow that down real nice like and see an instant replay.
Okay, you just have to move forward. You're right there. It's right in front of you.
Oh, I feel the table. I got the cake. Yes! Victory!
Oh, dude, you made it with like 2 seconds to spare.
All right. I need you guys to remove the goggles because I'm like, I can't move right now. Corey, I'm gonna need your help. How bad is it? How bad is it?
It's bad, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Was it worth it, man?
Let
Take a bite.
Let me see.
Made it this far.
Oh, it makes it better. That certainly makes it better. Oh yeah, that's good cake. Okay. We gotta get these out. All right, I really need the stuff off the back.
I'm just gonna keep going, man. Ready?
Okay.
Heartaches, heartbreak, heartbroken.
All right, keep going, man.
Had you ever thought of starting over? Starting
1, 2, 3. Yep, that was the worst one. Tell you guys what, I'm so happy I wore a cup. Okay, so here we go. Now, As you can see, I only have the choya left that are on the front side of my body. And this is the point of the video where I would like to attempt to show you how, if this happens to you, hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, how to properly remove these choya with the least amount of pain possible. The number one thing you want to avoid doing, this is like rule number one with choya, you never, ever, under any circumstances, try to remove choya with your hands. Even if you have gloves on, as you can see, these things go through boots, they go through fabric. So don't use your hands, you want to use a tool. Now, what tool should you use? Well, I'm glad you asked. Corey, my comb, please. Thank you, sir. No, I'm just kidding. It's not for my hair, but one of the best tools for removing the choya is a large tooth comb, just like this. Work the teeth under the spines until you grab the choya. You could kind of see I've got the fruit pulling up now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew. Okay, that's one. Ooh, this one's gonna hurt. Go! Yeah! Yes! Yes, sir, that hurts. Okay, so the comb, it does the trick. But let's be honest, if you're out here hiking the Sonoran Desert, pretty good chance you don't have a large tooth comb in your kit. But what you might have is something like this. The Brave Wilderness team never leaves home without a good multi-tool, and I highly recommend you do the same. So you want to open 2 points of contact, just like the comb, wiggle it in there. See how I have good purchase? Ah, that hurts. 1, 2, 3. Ga! Ga! Velvet cake, velvet cake, velvet cake. Okay, I think I need to get this one off. This is a good opportunity for me to show you yet another technique. Corey, sticks please. Thank you, sir. Now, if you can't find any sticks, just look harder, because you definitely don't want to use your hands, like I said before. What you want to do is take the sticks, work them underneath, get purchase, and then same as the other ones. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, just like that. But I gotta be honest with you, I much prefer the multi-tool, so I'm going back. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. And the final choya. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the Sonoran Desert and all of its spiky inhabitants and how to remove the pesky choya should you ever have an encounter of your own. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next challenge. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Ah!
Oh, yes. That cake was worth every single spine. And speaking of our spiky little friends that joined me on today's adventure, we actually did them a big favor by helping these choya complete their journey across the desert. Grow strong, little ones. And if you enjoyed this challenge, make sure to head over to the Mark Vins channel and check out my experiment to prove, once and for all, who is the spikiest cactus in the West.
Ow!
I'm just gonna say it right now, it only gets spikier from here.
And we're back. My name's Mark Vins, and I hope you're excited as I am for another Blue Wilderness adventure. On this dive, Mario and I will be trying something a little bit different. Today we're going to challenge ourselves to see just how many creatures we can spot on a single dive. Sure, some of our adventures require multiple dives and even days to get the footage we're after. But one thing that draws me to the ocean is just how much can be seen each and every time we're underwater. In many ways, the core of ocean exploration is the infinite potential to witness the unexpected. And today, my goal is to show you just what I mean by that.
Right now, we're off the coast of Bimini at a dive site called the El Dorado Shoal. We only have one take, Mario, so we gotta make this count. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get in the water and see what we can find.
All right. Okay, that's better. Wow, the water is really clear today. Okay, let's go see what we can find first. Let's check over here. I already see some reef fish. And nice, there's a, wow, that is a queen angelfish. Definitely a standout of the crowd species. And look how colorful it is. All right, moving on. Okay, yeah, here we go. That is a spiny lobster, and 2 of them. Now, they don't have claws like true lobsters, but get this, they can navigate at night using the Earth's magnetic field like a compass. And that's pretty cool if you ask me. All right, let's cover some more ground. Hey Mario, let's head this way. Oh, okay. Got our first shark here. That's a nurse shark, which are usually non-aggressive. So let's see how close we can get. Come on back. Sometimes I feel like if I put out a positive vibe for an animal to approach, it tends to happen. Well, that's it, I guess. First shark in the books, anyway. So this whole area is surrounded by these crater-like depressions lined with reef. Let's go investigate one to see what we can find right on the edge. Oh, check this out. Hello? Hello, coyote? Okay, Mario, it's for you. Oh well, short call I guess. That was Coyote. I never know where he is anymore. Okay, let's try this way. Ooh, I spy some razor-sharp teeth in the mouth of that barracuda. But luckily for us, they rarely attack divers. See you later. Okay, now's a good time to check our air. Looks like I have just over 2,200 pounds, Mario. Plenty left. How about you? Okay, awesome. Good to go. Okay, let's go scan for something interesting around this. Man, that is cool looking. Whoa, okay. Now this is great. Do you see it? That is a yellow stingray. And yes, they do have a venomous barb, so we need to be careful here. And look, there's another one. Oh, this one's on the move. Let's try to follow it. Oh, that is so awesome. Look at how they can glide and then come to a complete stop almost instantly. Although this is a smaller species of stingray, they are still one of the most interesting animals to come across because their skeletons, like sharks, are not made of bone, but actually cartilage. Well, got a great shot there, Mario. Haha, got that one swimming off perfectly. Boom. Well, we've seen a lot of creatures already. This shoal is really home to an abundance of marine species. Plus, let's be honest, it's quite breathtaking. All right, we've got another gray angelfish here, but we've already seen one of these. Let's look for something else. Let's go check over here. I've got a good feeling about this outcrop. Oh, look at that. We have a nice school of Atlantic porkfish passing by. Not sure why they're called porkfish, but that's their name. Oh, there's a cave. This is worth a look. Look at how colorful the reef gets when you're out of the direct sunlight. Way less blue. And look, you can see right through it too. Don't think I can fit through there though. Uh-oh. We're surrounded. Let's just stay calm here. There are about 50 or so barracuda all around us. But the best thing to do right now is just to stay put. Like I said before, barracuda rarely attack divers unprovoked,
They're known for being aggressive, for sure, one of the fastest predators out here in the reef system. But the good news is, they only seek fast and distressed prey, which we are definitely not right now. But being surrounded by this many razor-sharp teeth certainly gets my heart racing. Looks like Mario's doing a great job of staying calm as well. Get that shot, buddy. Okay, by the looks of things, they've accepted that we're not food, so let's carefully proceed. There they go. Wow, I did not expect for that to happen today. That is a first for me. Now how about that for some excitement on a single tank dive? Yeah. All right, time to head back to the boat. Man, what a great way to end the trip. The El Dorado Shoal was incredible. We saw everything from yellow stingrays to spiny lobsters. At one point, we were completely surrounded by barracuda, and we even had a close encounter with the nurse shark. If you guys like these videos, make sure to tell us in the comments section below where you want us to go next. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next dive.
All right, guys, it is the wee hours of the morning here in Western Australia, and we woke up early because we are trying to find one of the world's smallest marsupials, the honey possum. These tiny creatures only live in Western Australia and are rarely ever seen because they are super quick, hopping and bouncing from tree to tree. Now, while they are smaller than a mouse, they are actually related to koalas, kangaroos, and wombats. And if I'm able to catch one, I'm going to show you why this is one of the most impressive and smallest mammals in the entire world. Now, these creatures are very agile. In order to have any chance of getting one up close to the cameras, we're going to need to use some technology to aid us. So what we have here is a thermal scope. You can see the scanner here, a live feed on the phone, and it will detect any body heat coming off of these small possums. And if we are able to spot one on the scope, we're then gonna race out of the car and try to get hands-on with this super cool and super tiny marsupial. Joining us on our possum search is Max Jackson from Australia Wildlife Encounters. If there's anyone who can spot a creature in the outback, it's him. All right, so we're gonna start our search by looking for plants that flower because these honey possums live on a diet completely made up of flower nectar. So if we find flowers, that's going to be a good indication that there'll be honey possums in the area. This heathland habitat is perfect because typically at all times during the year, there's always going to be something in bloom. It didn't take long for Max to guide us to a location full of orange banksia flowers, a favorite of the honey possum. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, the day's temperatures rose and the thermal cameras became less and less effective, making it difficult to spot the tiny warm-blooded possums apart from the hot banksia trees. So we decided that although we found our location, we would need to return back the next morning for another try.
Up there.
That's something.
That, it's on a flower too.
That's a possum.
That's a possum. Look at it, that's totally a possum.
We got it. And you can see the thermal scope is picking up a small creature at the top of this flower. Hopefully that is the honey possum we were after. This is awesome. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see him. I definitely see him, man. He's flying around there.
All right, do you want me to stand back and you see if you can go for a grab?
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on it with this laser.
Okay. Coming down at me? Yeah, I don't see anything. Thought I saw a flash of it when we first walked up, but it's hard to tell. Like, could have just been a branch in the wind.
So I saw him moving down, I kind of lost track of him from there. Oh, hang on, there. That's him, he's moving around, he's at the bottom, he's like, yeah, he's this head level, he's around there somewhere.
Okay. So he's gonna be at the top of this tree. Oh, I got him. I see him. I think he jumped down. Saw him for like a fleeting glimpse. All right. Well, let's keep trying. Yeah, he's like right there. Oh, I see him. I see him. I got eyes on him. Here, take the phone.
Okay, just drop it, it's fine.
Okay, I am looking at it. I am staring right at it. Oh, I just jumped. Yep. Got him. Where is he now? Oh, I see him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I'm so close. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I missed that. Oh. Ah. All right.
These guys move fast.
They are so incredibly quick. Is it the flower again? There's just too many escape routes for these honey possums to go. I can see them. I get within like an arm's reach, and then they see me and go bing and just jump to the other branch. And these trees are super dense. Like the leaves are very prickly, the branches are very stiff, so like moving the tree around is really complicated. I almost had him. I'm not joking. We may want to go back and get my tide pool net because they are so fast. We've got one. Oh, I see two. There's one up high. That one looks like it's really resting easily. Let's go for it. All right, I'm gonna go in for a catch. Yep, okay. Here we go. It's gonna be right here.
Yeah, there somewhere, right in front of it.
Should be looking right at it.
Hasn't moved yet.
Oh, I see him. He's up. Oh wait. There's a little bird's nest there.
Ah.
But I think it was one of them because I saw a tail.
He's still there.
Oh wait, I'm looking right at him.
Yep.
I see him. Okay. I'm looking right at him.
Oh, he's moving. He's moving. He's running overhead. Huh?
I heard it. This way?
He's up high actually. He's on a flat. You should be able to see him. He's there. Back that.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got one. Oh, we got a honey possum, guys. That was awesome. That was awesome. Hi. Oh my goodness. You are the cutest thing I have ever seen. Okay, the sun is coming up. Let's let the light expose the habitat a little bit better, and then we are gonna show you this tiny little creature up close and personal. Oh, guys, look at how small this marsupial is. And yes, I know at first glance, it looks a little bit like a mouse, but in fact, this is a marsupial, namely because of how it rears its young. That when they're, hey buddy, it's okay, it's okay. It's a little nervous, I'm gonna talk a little quieter. So this little honey possum can give birth to 2 to 3 joeys at a time. And when they are born, they are no bigger than a grain of rice, making them the smallest mammal at birth in the world. And then they'll be reared in their mother's pouch for up to 3 months before they venture off to find their own flowers. These little honey possums can drink up to 7 milliliters of nectar in a day. That's the equivalent of a human being drinking 50 liters of soda. Could you imagine? So their metabolism is super fast. They are pretty much always hopped up on a good diet of sugar. Hi, look at that iconic snout, which is developed to help them get at the plant nectar, the flowers in these banksia trees. They are perfectly adapted for their food source. In addition to their slender snout, they also have a very long tongue, which is up to 1/4 length of their entire head. This tongue is covered in, hold on, I gotta get a better grip, sorry guys. We're almost done, we're almost done. We're gonna put you back on your flower, don't worry. Okay, let's see if we can feed our friend here some sugar water. All right, ready? Oh yeah, look at that. Somebody was thirsty. You can see how it uses that little tongue to lap up the nectar. Yum, 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 yum. Oh my gosh, look how long his tongue is. Now their tongue is covered in bristles that helps it extract the nectar out of the flowers. And just like the bees behind us on the flower, these honey possums are extraordinary pollinators. Without them, this environment would certainly be in peril. They are a very important part of the ecosystem here in Western Australia, and they are also super cool. Like many other marsupials, it is prehensile. Do you see how it grips onto my finger there, how it curls up? That prehensile tail can wrap around branches and allows this tiny little marsupial to grip onto flowers and tree limbs with great efficiency, and they can actually hang and support their entire body weight just with their tail. So me gently holding it here is totally fine for this creature. The base of their tail is very strong and can support their entire body. Now, in addition to its prehensile tail, it also has a very interesting hind foot. Similar to a koala bear, it actually has a thumb that hangs out off the foot, 4 fingers, that allows it to really grab onto stems and limbs so we can get up on those flowers. So another distinguishing feature about the honey possum are those tiny little ears, which are quite large for its head. It has an extraordinary sense of hearing, and that's going to help it stay away from predators that would be out here trying to get them as they're feasting on flowers. Anything from a snake to a bird would make a meal out of a honey possum. They do have striping running along their back. The males have a bit more of a prominent stripe down the back, which leads me to believe that this is a male. Sir, thank you for joining us today on Brave Wilderness. Ow, he's trying to nip me a little bit. Luckily, the honey possum really lacks any serious teeth. It has a couple of flat peg-like teeth, but nothing that's gonna give me a serious nip this morning. You are teeny tiny and super adorable. All right, now these creatures are nocturnal. The sun's starting to come up. I think it's time to put our honey possum back on its flower and let it nap for the rest of the afternoon. You were so good. Thanks for hanging out with us. How about a flower? You want a flower? You hungry? So cool. Oh, coming back? Back to me? Back to me? Oh. You gonna go back? Where are you going? Can I offer you a flower? All right, let's put the honey possum back in the bush. Oh. That's it. That's all she wrote. Honey possum scene. Cut. Time for me to take 2 stings from the Portuguese Man O War. 2 sting sites, 2 different antidotes. Which one works the best? You're about to find out. Ooh, man, I'm getting nervous. Terror of the ocean, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, man, that one nailed me. One of the things I almost see in every single comment section is, Mark, when are you going to take a sting like Coyote? Well, truth be told, I do get stung by quite a few things on our adventures. But one of the things we have not featured yet that I'm stung by all the time is, of course, the jellyfish. I'm hearing a lot of bad information out there about how to treat a jellyfish sting and what the sting is actually doing. So when I decided that we were gonna make this video, I was like, what jellyfish should I get stung by? A little tiny one out on a reef? Oh no, I need to go big. We're talking the baddest, the terror of the ocean, the Portuguese. That one. Yes, that's exactly what we're looking for today. Now, when the wind blows a certain direction, the Portuguese Man O War will actually wash up on the beaches here in Florida, sometimes by the hundreds. Actually, I think I see one right up there. Oh, all right, here we go. Those are 2 pretty good looking Man O War right there. Woo! Careful guys, don't want to get hit by, whoo, that is dangerous. If I get whipped by that, we're gonna get stung way sooner than I want to. So everyone knows this is the end for them. When they wash up on the beach here, they will unfortunately dry out, and that's kind of it, circle of life. So the fact that we're taking these 2 today for our experiment is totally a good use for their end of life. And boy, do they look beautiful. But sometimes with beauty comes pain, and this is a super painful jar. All right, let's head up out of the wind and take a closer look. I remember these tables, except all of the shoots before this one, I was on the other side of the camera. So yeah, this is a little bit different than I'm used to. In this bucket, we have a variety of different sting remedies. Some of them good, some of them not so good. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. Let's talk about the organism, the creature, the Portuguese. Are we gonna do that every time? The Portuguese Man O War.
Although it looks like one, the Portuguese Man O War is not actually a jellyfish. It is a siphonophore. Unlike a jellyfish, which can survive on their own, siphonophores are a group of colonized organisms made up of cloned cells. Each group are responsible for specific tasks to keep the Man O War alive. Some cells form the float, which suspend the organism on the water's surface and create a sail to move with the wind. Others are responsible for hunting prey, and this is where we meet the venom-filled nematocyst. These small but potent cells cover the Man O War's stinging tentacles by the thousands, and within each is a spiral-shaped barb which literally blasts out when making contact with its victim. When these barbs penetrate the skin, they release a cocktail of enzymes very similar to snake venom. These enzymes are designed to incapacitate prey, and in my case, will cause instantaneous pain.
This animal is notorious for its sting. In fact, it stings thousands of people here in the state of Florida every single year. I luckily have never taken a sting until now. Time for me to take 2 stings from the Portuguese Man O War.
In order to compare the effectiveness of the most famous remedies for being stung by a Man O War, today I'll be taking 2 stings, side by side on the same arm. One of them to be treated with urine, the controversial yet universally accepted cure to all marine creature stings, and on the other, I will spray white vinegar, the suggested first aid from a University of Hawaii research article. Then, while enduring the venom from both stings, I will attempt to describe which of these 2 remedies relieves my pain the best.
2 sting sites, 2 different antidotes. Which one works the best? You're about to find out. Please do not attempt to do what I'm doing here today. Oh gosh, I'm so nervous I can't even get a hold of it. Okay guys, I think I got it. You ready? Ready. Okay, here we go. About to take, oh God, that looks horrible. Whew, man, I'm getting nervous. Here we go. About to take 2 stings from the Portuguese Man O War. You guys get your shots ready because this is only gonna happen one time. Terror of the ocean, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah, yep, it's getting me. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Ah, ooh, that's like electric. Yeah, that's 1. Wow, it burns right away, okay. Second sting, I gotta do this fast before that gets too bad. Ready, guys, ready? All right, 1, 2, second sting, 3. Ah, yep. Oh, man, that one nailed me. Oh. Okay, yep. So, instant, almost tingly, electrical feeling sting. A lot different than a bee sting or a wasp. Oh man, those are really getting in there. I can feel it now. Now, likely there are still hundreds of nematocysts that are, oh yeah, they are erupting as I'm talking to you right now. I can feel them individually firing, like pow, 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 like a series of bullets going into my skin. Woo, yeah. Yeah, you can see it getting red on both sites now. Sting site 1 up here at the top, sting site 2 down here at the bottom. I can actually see remnants from the tentacles, and those likely have many nematocysts in them. And it is getting worse and worse with every second. Oh man, this is bad. You do not want to get stung by a Portuguese Man O War. If I were a fish right now, I'd be in big trouble. In fact, I would likely already be in complete paralysis, and this Man O War would be reeling me in for dinner. Okay, let the healing begin, as they say. All right, there is 2 steps to this. 1, spray on the agent. 2, use a plastic card because you want to scrape off as many of those nematocysts that have yet to explode as you can. First site, vinegar. Here we go. Okay. Ooh yeah, smells like vinegar. Now the one I'm dreading. Gross. This is so disgusting. This is so nasty. All right, you guys are a little downwind, so you might want to prepare to duck and cover. All right, here we go. Oh man, I don't want to splash my face. Oh, it stinks. Oh, okay, that's enough. Scraping off those active nematocysts is certainly part of the equation, so you don't want to forget that step. I can actually see my skin pulsing. You guys can see my skin going up and down there. All the nerves in my arm right now are probably just screaming like, ah, intruder, we have venom. I feel so much better already. It feels like I'm on the road to healing. Man, it still burns though. So now it's just more of the burning. Okay, yeah, I think I'm ready to make a declaration of sorts at this point. Vinegar, not only more sanitary, but definitely wins the contest. This is by far the least of the two when it comes to pain. The urine site, not only is it absolutely disgusting, but it definitely burns a little worse. And I could definitely feel a distinction between the two. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Vinegar is the definitive antidote that you want to use if you want to neutralize stinging cells on your skin. Urine, not your best friend when it comes to a jellyfish sting or a man o' war sting for that matter. And there is one last step that will truly alleviate the pain symptoms that I'm feeling in my arm. Good old-fashioned hot water. The reason hot water is the ultimate antidote to a man o' war sting is because the heat from the water will actually denature the proteins in the venom, rendering them inert, completely harmless. And then it's just up to my body and my immune system to do the cleanup work, and I'll be as good as new. Oh my gosh, guys, I've never had a hot compress feel so good. Like immediate relief. And I hope everybody watching not only enjoyed this little experiment, but learned something to take home with you. Don't use urine, use vinegar to treat jellyfish stings or man o' war stings. And at the end of the day, hot compress is going to be your real solution.
While I did experience slight discomfort for the next few hours, the scrape and heat treatment reduced my pain to that of a mild sunburn. And by the next day, nearly all signs of redness had vanished and I was as good as new. So next time you're on the beach and you see a man o' war, avoid it. But just in case you don't, some white vinegar and a hot compress seem to do the trick. So yeah, you should leave your pee in the toilet.
And if you want to learn more about what's going on here, we do have the article from the University of Hawaii in the description. There's more science, there's more facts in there we weren't able to cover this afternoon. But I do wish you the good fortune to never encounter a man o' war for yourself so you can avoid a sting like this. I'm Mark Vins, be brave. Stay away from man o' war. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, go ahead. Cue the music one more time.
If you love animals, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our next wild adventure.